What's up guys? My name is Sam, and I just got back from my trip to France, and I wanted to share with you my favorite places. So here are my top 10 best places in France. 10. Once you've been to France, it's easy to see why it's the most visited country in the world. There's endless history here, charming cities, from the towering Alps to the brash French Riviera. France is a country waiting to be explored. Let's get started. Étretat. It is a 3-hour drive from Paris. 3 hours from Paris. It was the first place I went to when I arrived in France, and the main reason I wanted to go there was to see the stunning sea. When we arrived in Étretat, we walked through a beautiful coastal town and came to a beach where there was beautiful sand with pebbles, and you could get a view of the cliffs, and they were freaking huge, much bigger than me. After we decided to take a walk along we took a walk around the top of the cliffs. On the beautiful boardwalk, we made our way to the thing I liked most about the cliff tops of the sea arches. There are 3 of them. I also like the pointed sea. After a little bit of fog started to roll in and give the area such a different feel. And you just really fun to be on top of these cliffs. If I recommend staying until sunset. The sun illuminates the cliffs beautifully, illuminating them with an orange glow. After that, we're going to visit Corsica. The island of Corsica is located right above the island of Sardinia. Corsica is on a huge island full of diverse landscapes, with rocky mountains and some of the best coastline in France. One of my favorite places on the island is Bonifacio, a medieval town, built on these limestone cliffs. It's nicknamed the Mediterranean Sentinel. It's located on the southernmost point of the island, near where there are several other incredible white cliffs with crystal clear waters. Another one of my favorite places in Corsica are the cliffs. The Piana are pointed red cliffs that plunge into the sea. They've got such a distinctive color, and there's a windy road. Windy road runs right through them. There are also some incredible beaches, such as the Chumada. After that, we're going to visit French Alps, Mont Blanc, and Chamonix. The French Alps is one of my favorite regions in all of France. It is home to the incredibly massive Mount Mont Blanc, which is the highest mountain in the Alps. At 807 meters tall, Mont Blanc is not the most prominent peak in comparison, but it's just hard to realize how huge this mountain is, and now also a city. Located at the foot of Mont Blanc, Chamonix is the center for some of the best skiing in Europe. I really enjoyed walking around the town. It reminded me of a French Vermont. Be sure to walk along Ogle du Midi. You can take the 20-minute cable car, which holds the world record for the highest vertical ascent on a cable car with an elevation gain of over 2,807 meters. A round-trip ticket costs about €69. Round-trip ticket to the summit now. When I was there, it was very crowded. I think there was some kind of celebration there. So just plan accordingly. You'll take the 2 elevators, and it's just wild how steep it is. Now, when you get to the top, you're going to be at an altitude of 3,843 meters. You're definitely going to be feeling a lack of oxygen in your lungs when you get off the elevator. You're going to go through a labyrinth of tunnels carved right out of the granite. There are tons walkways and platforms to explore. You'll get a great view of Mont Blanc and other mountains. One thing that seemed crazy to me was that there's a place where climbers come out to hike up Mont Blanc, or just explore the liquid Doom Glacier. It was such an incredible experience and definitely the highlight of our stay in the French Alps. Now when you return you can do one more thing. Go on a train to Kill Glass. Mer de Glace to purchase a black multi-pass for about €90. This will allow you to take the train and the elevator to Ligotin D. The train goes up the mountain and you get some great views along the way. Get on the left side to get the best view. Now when you reach the top you will be able to see Mer de Glace Glacier. It's the second largest glacier in the whole of Europe. And the sad thing is, when you look at photos from over 170 years ago, and you see how much the glacier has shrunk. Despite that, the whole area is breathtaking. You see the views of the surrounding mountains. They're so jagged, I've never seen anything like it. There is also a restaurant and hotel here. After that, we're going to visit the nearby town of Annecy. And now we're going to look at and see the foothills of the Alps, about an hour's drive from Chamonix. This alpine town is famous for its canals, which is why it's called the Venice of the Alps. Just absolutely magical. But what I love in this region is Lake Annecy. Surrounded by beautiful mountains, it is known as one of the cleanest lakes in all of Europe, which means that I can't think of a better place to vacation during the hot summer. One of the main attractions, Menton Castle. Bernard in this neighborhood is the Chateau de Menton. Saint Bernard's first fortress was built here about 100 years ago, and today it is now one of the most impressive chateaux in the Alps, so we decided to see it. It cost about €15 to get in. I was just amazed at the size of it and how well preserved the castle was. There was a huge courtyard with perfectly laid out stones. The interior of the castle was just as impressive. It's just wild to imagine that people lived in such hundreds of years ago. I can't imagine what it was like. What it was like to live in those days after Alsace, the Alps. We're going to go to Alsace, a region now located in eastern France, landing in Germany and Switzerland. The Alsace region is known for its fabulous towns, wine country and rich history over the centuries. The region has alternated between French and German, and today it is a mixture of these cultures. The capital of Alsace is Strasbourg, which is the official seat of the European Parliament. The region's charming town is Colmar. If you want a break from the cities, you can take a trip on the Alsace wine route, a 170-kilometer route, that takes you through some of France's greatest wine countries and picturesque towns. One of my favorite is the quaint village of Riccaveri. It's thought to be the village that inspired the town from the movie Beauty and the Beast, even if you don't drink wine. Like me, it's impossible not to fall in love with this region of France. After Paris, we're off to the capital of France, Paris. Outrights all for my top 10 France. I've barely scratched the surface of where your favorite place is in the comments. I made a video about France that you might like.